Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something. We got hats. We got sweatshirts. We got jackets. We even got hoodies. Let's not forget our classic tees. Direction, choose your own path.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basically, pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.
Yeah, she brought up the overall. So, Ayana, how have you valued yourself?
I'll say I'll still say that I see my body as priceless. I may not have valued it as if it were priceless at a certain point in time, but I don't think that determines my worth.
Well, if you gave it to something or someone that didn't value it at all, right? But you gave it to them, you sold it to them, they bought it from you. Did that put a value on it?
No.
Well, think about this, right? If you get associated with something that costs $20, right? So let's say you got 2 toothpastes and there's all toothpaste on one row that are worth $7, right? But I put the wrong toothpaste on that row that's not worth $7, but it also doesn't have a price tag. And it's been associated with $7 toothpaste since I went in that store. What am I going to assume the price is of that toothpaste?
I get what you're saying, like birds of the same feather flock together.
What am I going to consider the price? Well, first off, question? What am I going to consider the price of that toothpaste to be?
You're going to consider it to be what everything else is, but
$7, right?
Okay, then. I think we should just leave it at that. That's how I'm going to just leave it at that, I feel.
No, because it's important to answer and then you can add context. So it would be $7.
I get what you're saying. I get your point. Yeah,
but go ahead, break it down. Break it down.
What is there to break? I don't feel like there's anything to break down. I just because, at a point in time I didn't value myself doesn't mean that my worth is I don't feel as though my body is priceless. At that point in time, I just wasn't operating in that mindset. But
okay.
So.
Right. So, isn't that the lesson to learn overall over time, since you can't go back in time? So what she's saying is she learned it, married to. So now you're putting the right amount of value on your body now because you learned.
You can't tell me that there isn't a woman. Well, I won't speak for every woman, but I know that there are some females out here who have laid down and done the doing and been like, in the middle of the do, is like, I know I'm not worth this. I'm better than this. So just because I did it in the moment with somebody I know it wasn't worth it at all, and I knew I was gonna regret it right after, in that moment I still felt like I'm the shit. But like, it don't make sense, but in my head we just gonna leave it at that. But that's how I feel, my personal opinion.
If one of the ladies had to respond to Yana's commentary just now, what should you say?
I'm just confused.
Yeah, to me, it sounds like a discussion of one's ego and their worth being tied together. Like, I tie my ego to what my self-worth is, kind of, to me. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit confused on it because when I hear the question in the statement, my answer wouldn't change. I feel more that my body is more valuable now. I asked
you, what would you say to her based on what her commentary was just now?
I would just say it sounds like ego over worth. Like,
break it down.
The high that you get off of doing whatever you do that supports and inflates your ego, but it doesn't necessarily support your worth. Like how she said that, possibly laying down with the individual and like in the moment you're like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, But then I would think, okay, but why did you do it in the first place? Did you do it because of your ego, to boost your ego, to see if you could maybe lay down or be with this individual? Did you do it to see if you could attempt it? I guess I'm a little.
It was more like a self-love thing. That
okay.
I mean, that ties into like.
Yeah. All right. Let me interject real quick, Alex. Maybe you shouldn't have stepped up to answer the question.
I mean, I think it's just the opposite of what Alex was saying. I think men are good at selling you a dream or just looking real edible, or just they're saying the right things. They're in the right place, right time, and then you give in. They're like, hold up, nah. And then you get them up out of there. I've done that. I think now though, Yana, you're still in your 20s, still kind of in your prime, like no kids. I would say, yeah, just treat it like it's supposed to be treated.
But what do you, if you were her coach, what would you tell her? If she's saying in the middle of an act, you regret the person, place, time, act, but I'm still the shit, but the person has no value, and then this process has been duplicated. Are you gonna then say you got time?
Yeah, she still has time, and it's.
Where's the correction? Is what I'm asking.
Well, it's good that you came to the realization, but that's a little late. But you know now what to do moving forward. Don't even entertain it.
Damn. What about when you? What about? But sis, did you hold her accountable by saying the man talked her out her drawers?
Well, she knows he did, and that's how he got to it.
I didn't say that anybody talked me out of my drawers.
See?
Nothing like that. I laid down. I did the act. I'm saying it was. That's why I just said, why couldn't you just leave me alone? Why couldn't you just leave me in my confusion statement and like, cool?
So wait, did he not say anything? Did he just show up and then it was just like make eye contact?
No, it was. Now I have to think about a specific time where I knew I regretted it. Thanks. It's like. I deal with a lot of like, I lack a lot of, at a point in time, I lacked a lot of self-love. And even now I still mess with that. So it was more so like, I don't love myself enough to be like, I don't even want to do this, yo. Like, I'm just here to be like supportive kind. Like, I'm just here. Like, I know I don't want to be here. I know this isn't something I should be doing, but it's like, I didn't love myself enough to be like, just don't be there type deal. But the question was, how do I value my body? Like, what is my body worth to me? That was your question to me originally. That's what my question was.
But
does that make sense?
Here's my thing. I'm having a hard time understanding how it's invaluable, but yet in the middle of it, when you don't even consent anymore, you'll lay there to please another person. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what that was.
I know. Don't
never agreed with it or anything like that. Just say that's what that was.
No, I understand, but just don't ever do that, because at any point when you don't want it to happen anymore, it's not consentful. That's it, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I'm sick of y'all leaving shit at that. When Yana actually, so here's the thing, Yana actually, she, even though she be wild and she windmills, she listens though. I've been knowing her for a decent amount of time, and she got like a big heart, big energy, but that self-esteem part is what she's been progressing on.
So what else?
Go ahead.
So a while back, when you asked the question, I was gonna say the same thing I said, but clarify more upon it. But you stopped me. What I was gonna say was, it's kind of like the Yana thing. Like, now where I'm at, and I said youth. When I say youth is wasted on the young, is what they say. And I wish I knew then what I know now, because a lot of the decisions I made back then, I would not have made, and I wouldn't have to be even more hyper vigilant, and or have to repair some damage that was done when I was younger. And the whole point of what I'm hearing, Yana, and I think you just said it too, is listen to your intuition. And when you don't want to be there, and don't play a supporting role in anybody's story. And I can go ahead.
Well, I mean, because one thing we didn't do was address the situation. We talking about what? Well, you said go ahead, so be quiet for a second. So we didn't address the situation because that's real. Because we talking about how, hey, if y'all, hey, listen, this might not be for everybody. This conversation, I get it. So how have we valued our bodies? Sis kept it real when she unmuted. We haven't done a good job because she's talking about past, present, and future, and you gotta weigh it all. Because we had this conversation a lot, so I'm trying to understand it. Like, how did we really value ourselves?
That's the crazy part. I was literally going into that, but you cut me off when I'm saying I was trying to talk to her and just really have a heart to heart with her right now. But you cut it off again.
Well, because I want to hear some accountability before I hear the coaching.
But how much accountability is that? Because I was accountable. I feel like I don't need anybody to hold me accountable. I held myself accountable by saying what I said.
Right. And she felt that she shouldn't have, that she wouldn't want to do it.
In that moment, I was holding myself accountable for the dumbass actions that I was going through with. Everybody here is just like kind of just being nice about it. Basically, you was dumb as shit, but being nice about it. They're all holding me accountable. No one said anything because everyone held me accountable by all their looks.
Well, Yana, but they didn't say shit though.
You don't have to. What's understood doesn't have to be explained.
So here's the other thing,
now
right,
that
Yana?
We're going so deep into it, I kind of wish I didn't say it. You know,
it's okay though. Here's one thing you said.
I done it.
Here's the one thing that you said though, that the accountability wasn't there in the moment because you said while it was happening, I was still the shit.
Okay. Can I retract that statement? And once I said it, I felt bad about saying it. Not that I'm the shit. It was like, I'm still Ayana. Me being with this bum ass nigga or whoever it might be, I'm still Ayana. Like, and Ayana is that nigga. Like, hands down, that nigga. This bum ass nigga here does not determine I'm less than because you don't got a car, don't got this, don't got that. You're not determining who I am in this moment. Because there are a lot of females who out there, like even people who get raped and stuff, like if I was a rape victim, I'm not a victim, but like it happens. But if I were to let that determine the rest of my life, I probably wouldn't have never met you because I'd probably be scared of men. You know how many men I'm around now? I'm the only woman in my shop. So if anything, I feel like that helped me in life. Not helped me, but like it played a part. A man touched me as a child and I couldn't do nothing about it. Now I work with men and I carry men, but I know how to talk to a man, like on man time stuff, but like I know how to address a man and make myself be seen and heard.
Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. The one thing you said, I'm gonna let it marinate. But I just let me read these super chats real quick. Ace, you want to say something? You got the floor.
No, Yana, I'm sending you love, and I appreciate your transparency. Seriously, sis. Your transparency and honesty is appreciated. Sincerely.
I appreciate it. I don't ever talk to nobody, so I love it here. I do. Thanks, Ham.
Oh, wait, I just wanted to ask a question, and not just that. Has no one else ever been in that situation? Because I can relate to that situation.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Don't slick talk. You had the floor to say what you want to say. Anything you want to say. Go ahead, Alex.
No, I was just asking if anyone has ever been in a similar, because now that the conversation has continued on, I'm like, I understand what Yana is saying completely. I've been in that scenario. And I know I'm not the only person that I know of in my circle who's been in that scenario. You got into some shit and you were like, I don't really want to do this, but fuck it, we're here. If I could go back, I wouldn't have maybe put myself in that position. Then becomes a conversation of consent. Did you feel powerful enough to be able to say stop
Right,
or
and
get
then
up.
it turns into, well, did he rape you? Never mind, I'm gonna
Right.
just shut the hell
And
up,
you
bro.
chose to be there, and that's something that you had to kind of have. I know for me, I had to have the inner turmoil in my situation. Like I had to sit back and be like, "Well, Alex, you had no business going there." Luckily, it didn't transcend to something else, but I had to sit there and I had to move differently after that. I had no business being there. I had to take accountability of that.
Yeah.
So in the moment, I was just like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
I'm here.
I won't speak for everyone. I've definitely been in a similar situation where I was just like, you fucked up. And so if this happens, you deserve it. It didn't happen, thankfully.
Yeah.
In that scenario. Especially like being a young, I was very green coming from into college.
Yeah.
I grew up in Palmdale. You know who's from Palmdale? Me, Paul George, and Afro Man. And that's it. And Paul George is just recently known. If you watch basketball. So for a long time, it's me and Afro Man, and that's it. The point is, I came from a very small town. I was very, 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 very green. And I put myself in a lot of very dangerous situations when I first got to the big city of Washington, D.C., when I went to Howard University. And thankfully, I wasn't in a compromised position, but I could have been. I put myself in a lot of bad positions.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Because remember, the premise is you value the woman's body, right? Michelle, just consider that for a second, man. You in these compromised positions, you with men that seemingly don't deserve it. It's tough to defend yourself outside of what Yana just mentioned, right? And then we talking about how much have we valued ourselves. To if we sit up here and act like that, we had so much value in ourselves throughout all these years. I'm just gonna say the feel to me is slightly disingenuous, but it's important to learn. Like Mary said, like Asia mentioned, that okay, I'm here now. Like Tay mentioned, but you gotta wear that shit regardless. If you don't wear it, you forget about it, in my opinion. Let me read these real quick. Sean with the $5 says, sis don't value her body. Remember, she says she don't make men put condoms on. They lying because they don't value their womb. Listen to past convos. MC Heavy Tits with the $2 says, I don't remember that. Hello, Mr. Hamp, panel in chat. What's popping? MC Heavy Tits with the $5 says, the question is, should a woman in her 30s keep devaluing her body because of the damage is already done? It's a good question. Different question. D-Town with the $5. What's popping? D-Town says, Hamp, this is for the babies, man. I got me a job. Shout out to D-Town, the one and only. Love you, Hamp. Be safe. All the beautiful ladies, salute. D-Town, get some rest, playboy. Congratulations on the job. Ricky with the $2 says, it's our fault, fellas, even if she did it. Zagu with the $2 says, windmilling already, ladies. Hamp the GOAT. Appreciate you. See, the spouse with the $5 says, Hamp, can the women answer the question of should black women date if so much trauma comes after dating when they blame men for all their choices? Sean with the $2 says, here comes the victim parade. Typical shit. See, the spouse with the $2 says, I appreciate Dana's truth talk so far. Proud of you. And I want to say, I think sis, I think sis kind of retracted that a bit, putting it on the guy, right, sis, or no?
What?
Talking her out of drawers. Talking you out your drawers.
Me?
Yeah, you said this is what happens. They talk you out your drawers. They tell you what you want to hear, etc. You give them some cheat. But you taking accountability for being talked out your drawers, right?
Have I? Yeah. Shoot. A couple of them did have to say that much, especially in college.
Okay. So yeah. So Sean, she clarified it. Okay. To tell a friend, and we out.